the reappearance of Palpatine. What can you tell us about this? How long was this in the cards? Was this sort of in the blueprint from Episode 7?
This has been in the blueprint for a long time. Yeah.
Nerderotic.com.
Kathleen Kennedy did an oopsie. It looks like Palpatine is a last-minute addition, which is contrary to what she said earlier this summer, and it looks like Colin Trevorrow was the one who threw her under the bus. I'm sure it had nothing to do with her firing him, but what we do know is Jar Jar Abrams came up with the idea, and he is the architect of the destruction of the Skywalker saga, and some of the Reddit leaks that came out about a month ago are starting to look like they are going to happen, and we will get into that. But before I get started, if you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It's been a tough time this year at YouTube, but thanks to you guys, this channel has seen amazing growth. So I am grateful for you, and I thank you for your continued support. This from Digital Spy Sam Warner, and it just came out a few hours ago. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker originally did not have Emperor Palpatine returning. It was changed when Jar Jar Abrams took control. Now that is very interesting because Kathleen Kennedy, hot off her lies from a couple of days ago when she said Star Wars had no source material, said at Star Wars Celebration that Palpatine was always part of the plan. From April 13th of this year, we go to Screen Rant. When being interviewed by Kevin Powley via Yahoo, Kathleen Kennedy briefly talked about Episode 9's title. Oh, we remember that. It didn't mean anything.
I think The Rise of Skywalker, it doesn't answer anything.
While also speaking about the shocking revelation that Palpatine is returning for Star Wars 9. When asked if the character's return had been planned since the beginning of the sequel trilogy, Kennedy explained, "This has been in the blueprint for a long time. Yeah, we had not landed on exactly how we might do that, but yes, it was always to be in Episode 9. We go back to the Digital Spy article because Colin Trevorrow says different. Everyone was blindsided by the maniacal laugh at the end of the first Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker trailer, which confirmed that Emperor Palpatine was back. However, it seems that bringing back the iconic villain wasn't always part of the plan, at least when original director Colin Trevorrow was on board. If you remember, the Jurassic World director was originally on board to direct Episode 9 before being removed due to creative differences in 2017. Jar Jar Abrams deserves a lot of the credit for destroying the Skywalker saga, right along with Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, but nothing sticks to this guy. He's the Teflon man, and this is why he's a genius, not a directorial genius. He's a genius snake oil salesman. He does his Hollywood pyramid scheme because he knows how to use other people's ideas and incorporate nostalgia to fool people. Bringing back Palpatine can kill two birds with one stone. You can maybe get some older fans back, and you do that with Lando as well, and you can have Rey smash the patriarchy by sacrificing Luke's story and sacrificing Anakin's redemption story. Jar Jar Abrams subsequently took over, and Trevorrow has now revealed that the Palpatine twist was actually the new director's idea. Again, Kathleen Kennedy, you're caught. Bringing back the Emperor was an idea Jar Jar brought to the table when he came on board. He told Empire, "It's honestly something I never considered." This is Hollywood speak coming up. "I commend him for it. This was a tough story to unlock, and he found the key." In other words, JJ's a hack, but he wouldn't say that out loud. Trevorrow, you're still good with me, and I'm glad you didn't direct this film and besmirch your name. I love Safety Not Guaranteed. Trevorrow will be getting a credit on The Rise of Skywalker. That's too bad for you. And further explain that some of his ideas were incorporated into the movie. Of course, because Jar Jar's not going to come up with his own ideas. "I'm not sure anyone who chooses the creative life should expect things," he said, "but I'm grateful to Jar Jar for embracing some of our ideas. It's exciting that fans will get to see the moments that felt essential to all of us." Meanwhile, Abrams has responded to criticism that his last Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, was too similar to A New Hope. It was A New Hope. "I completely get the criticism. For those who found it too much of an overlap, I say I totally hear you and respect the review," he said. And again, that's Hollywood speak for "I don't give a F what you say, I got my money." But the idea was to continue the story and to begin with this young woman who felt like Luke Skywalker was a myth. all 30 years, which was the dumbest idea ever. So 30 years ago, things were a myth. Imagine what happened 30 years ago. Ronald Reagan was a myth. Now, according to the leaks, which again, these are rumors right now. I'm not reporting this as fact. And again, these have been out there. They're on Reddit. This is not anything coming from me. But I believe the story will go down something like this. And this completely screws Luke's and Anakin's story. During this conversation between Rey and Palpatine, Sidious reportedly confirms Rey's lineage. See, Jar Jar Abrams isn't ripping off The Empire Strikes Back because he puts the twist in the third film, but that is typical JJ. So apparently Rey learns early on in the film, somewhere in the second act, that she is from the Palpatine lineage. Palpatine is her grandpappy, and goads her on to take up a lightsaber and strike him down. Very much like how he encouraged Luke to do the same thing 30 years prior. So mythical. Telling her that in killing him, she will gain the power needed to save her friends. Palpatine also apparently makes statements alluding to the belief that Vader could not betray Luke due to their family bond, and that the same kind of bond would ultimately cause Rey to do what the Emperor wishes. So let's backtrack a little bit. Darth Vader was always going to betray Palpatine, and he always suspected that. So he sacrificed the entire Empire for his plan B in the outer regions to wait for Rey, to wait for the chosen one. And maybe they're going to retcon that scene from Empire Strikes Back. I know there's talk about that, and the fans, I don't think a lot of the fans will like that. I hate the decision. Now, do I think this is true? I'm not sure, but it certainly sounds like something that would come from Jar Jar Abrams. But again, it doesn't really matter how it goes down. The fact that Palpatine is coming back at all does all the damage that needs to be done, and that is deliberate. I reported on a rumor quite some time ago that this was Kathleen Kennedy's plan. Oh, there was a plan after they tossed George's treatments, but the plan was to put agenda into Star Wars. It wasn't a plan for the narrative. They didn't have a plan for the story. They just wanted to dispatch the older characters as quickly as possible, but spread them out through the new trilogy to keep fans coming in, just in case people don't connect with the new characters. And that's what happened, and that's why they pulled a desperate move, bringing back Palpatine. So Kathleen Kennedy is caught in another lie. A couple of days ago, a Rolling Stone article came out where she said, Disney Star Wars is hard because we didn't have any source material, when we know they dispatched the EU and they had thousands of comics, thousands of books, and George Lucas's story treatment. And I'm absolutely sure Colin Trevorrow made this statement accidentally. He didn't really intend to throw Kathleen Kennedy under the bus. Welcome to the Fandom Menace, Colin. The worst part about it is it didn't need to go down this way, but this is what happens when you put agenda before narrative. And before you dismiss the Reddit leaks, don't forget Game of Thrones Season 8. The leaks were spot on for that. And I think these leaks are in the spirit of Jar Jar Abrams, especially when he said he was inspired by Rian Johnson, and we all know what he did to Luke. So Vader betraying the Emperor being a foregone conclusion sounds like something that hack would do. But the worst part about it is Palpatine is victorious because he's the only one with a living descendant, except for Ben Solo, who somehow falls to his death and we never see him again, but I'm sure that'll be brought up later. So yes, Rey will adopt the name Skywalker according to the leaks, but it's still a living Palpatine. Thanks a lot for ending the Skywalker saga in defeat. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, thank you for listening this long. Hail the Fandom Menace, and I'll see you in the next video.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.